In the previous video, we learned fundamentals of current transformers operation, and now we will see how to simulate these applications. In this example, we will simulate a 400 to 5 amps current transformer in EMWORKS EMAG using finite element analysis. The model is based on an industrial city with core cross-section of 1190 square millimeter, a mean radius of 215 millimeters, and one primary turn and 80 turns on the secondary side. We apply 400 amps primary current and connect 0.6 ohm burden on the secondary side, which represents 15 volt ampere rated load on 50 Hz operation. The goal is to check how transformer behave under real operating conditions using finite element analysis. We will look at the main points that matter in practice: how flux flows in the core, whether the core starts to saturate, and how accurately the secondary current follows the primary current under different loads. With EMWORKS EMAG, we can directly see the magnetic field, induced voltage, and current transformation, and use that to verify the design before making a prototype. In the EMWORKS EMAG, the first step is to start a standard project where we can see the simulation tree. Just like any other finite element software, the first step is to create geometry. For this part, we need to right-click on Design and create a new design or import different parts from other softwares. If you click on New, you will see inbuilt CAD tool that is powered by Autodesk Inventor. So using Autodesk Inventor, you can draw all the needed geometries and complex models. Even in the Autodesk Inventor, you can create your own part or use the place option to import CAD files with different file extensions like CATIA, IGS, step file, parasolid files, and many other file formats. We have the model for primary, secondary, and core, and we can import them here in the software. To make all parts at the center point, you can use the constraint. Find the origin of each part and make a constraint with the other parts. You can select the center point or z-axis to create a constraint and make all parts at their own correct place. We will do the same workflow for the core of the current transformer too. And now we have a correct geometry for our simulation. We need another part as the outer region too. So for this part, we will use the Create button to draw a new part named region. With powerful drawing tools of Autodesk Inventor, you can use a sketch-based drawing to model any complex geometry. But for the region, we only need a bigger box than all parts. So I will draw a box here, and from 3D Model tab, use the Extrude button to change the axial length of the box. Here, with dragging option, I set the needed value on both sides. We finished drawing the box, and now we can make it transparent for a better view. The next step of the pre-processing is selecting the analysis type. If you right-click on Analysis, we have 6 different studies, 3 for magnetic simulation and 3 for electric field simulation. Magnetostatic is the best option for simulations that we don't have alternative current or voltage without any motion. AC magnetic will simulate the geometry in steady state sinusoidal excitation, and transient magnetic will help us to model different waveform of excitation and other time-dependent variables like motion and rotation. Click on transient magnetic and we will see the properties of this simulation. We need to set the end time and time increment, that is time steps for the simulation, and selecting to have core loss calculation and option to compute fields. As the nominal frequency of this current transformer is 50 Hz, we want to model a complete cycle of the waveform that is 20 milliseconds. For accurate results and smooth curves, we will divide the time period into 40 different steps and we can click on OK. When you selected the time steps and end time, you will see the simulation tree. The workflow is very straightforward. First, we need to select the materials for each part, select the boundary and conditions, define the excitations, and if we want to measure any force or torque, we have to define that in this part. The software has the ability to create circuit coupling, thermal coupling, and motion coupling, which is not the main goal in this simulation. And after we mesh the geometry, we are ready to analyze the simulation and go to the post-processing and getting the results. Now let's start the first step, which is defining the material for each part. We know that primary and secondary part are made from copper. So with selecting them and right click, we can find the copper easily on favorite material here. Click on copper and the region is made from air. So again, in the favorite material, we will find air too. About the core, we need to open the material center to find a proper material for core. So click on apply material and you will see the comprehensive material center here. The materials are categorized by their properties, and in each category we will have accurate properties that are provided by the data sheets of the vendors. As you can see, different properties like electrical conductivity, BH curve, loss curve, and even the physical properties of these materials are defined in the material center. For this simulation, we can find linear magnetic material or electrical steel with BH curves. As we are modeling a current transformer, let's select a material that has definition for BH curve and loss curve too. You can click on apply and close, and the material definition is finished. In EMAG 3D, we don't need to set any boundary conditions unless we have external situation like external fields. The next step is to select the excitation type. For the primary coil, we have a solid coil with single turn. So we will select solid coil, and in the select entity, we can choose the part from the graphical window or simply go to the simulation tab and select primary and click on add to selection list. For a better view, we can hide the region too. Let's get back to the property of the excitation. We selected the primary geometry here, and we need to define the entry port and exit port of this conductor. So let's click on this face as the entry port and this face as the exit port. The next step is about if we have a current-driven coil or voltage-driven coil. As we are simulating a current transformer, the primary current is fixed at the maximum value. So we will move to the current source and select sinusoidal waveform for the primary current. We need to set parameters here to define the waveform of the primary. The offset of the current is 0. The amplitude is 400 amps multiplied by root of 2. And the frequency will be power frequency of the grid. We don't have any time delay, so make it 0, and you will see the waveform of the primary current in the preview window. This preview window will help us to be sure about the correct setting that we choose. Click on OK, and the primary winding is selected correctly. Let's isolate the secondary winding to have a closer view. The secondary winding is a coil around the core. If I hide the top part of the winding, you can see the secondary coil will embrace the core in its middle. We have to set the cross section of this winding as the entry and exit port. So let's click on Excitation, select wound coils because we have 80 number of turns for this winding. At the first window, we need to select the geometry of this winding. Because I hided the top part, I have to go to the simulation, select both of these parts to be added to the list. Now for entry port, have to select the cross section of the winding. I selected the wrong one, so again I remove the selected face and try to select the correct cross section of the winding. As we are modeling a closed loop here, the exit port is the same part as the entry port. So by checking this box, we don't need to set any exit port for this winding. Now in the general properties, we can select the number of turns, the wire size, and voltage or current driven coil. As we mentioned in the CT properties, we have 80 number of turns for the secondary winding, and we can set a filling factor for this coil. I select 80% filling factor for this coil and choose voltage driven coil. When you choose this option, you can define initial current, serial resistance that we talked about it. We will choose 0.6 ohm and serial inductance too. In the voltage source, we can choose the source that is connected to the terminals. As we are modeling a CT, we want to short circuit the terminals of the secondary winding. So we will choose a DC voltage source with 0 volt. It means that we short circuited the winding just to the serial resistance and the coil's resistance. You can click on OK, and the excitation part is finished too. Now we are ready to mesh the geometry and start to analyze the whole simulation. Let's show all the materials by clicking on Show All. To create mesh on this geometry, you can right-click on Mesh and click on Create Mesh. In this way, you will have default mesh operation for the whole geometry. Or if we have important parts that we want to create more precise mesh, you can click on Mesh Control. I want to increase the mesh accuracy on the core material. So in the select entity, I will select the core and force the element size to be just 1 millimeter as the maximum length of each element. You can click on OK and start the mesh operation by clicking on Create Mesh. Here you have options for defining the mesh accuracy on the whole geometry. I will select the follow curvature option and increase the mesh layers to 30. If you click on OK, the mesh operation will start automatically. When the mesh operation is done, to check the mesh size, you can click on Mesh and click on Show Mesh. In this way, you will see the accuracy of each mesh element. For the initial simulation, I think this mesh size is good enough. We have a smaller mesh on the core material, which is important, and a little bigger mesh on the windings. But for final simulation, you can easily increase the mesh accuracy by changing the parameters on mesh control. The pre-processing steps are finished, and you can easily right-click on simulation name and click on Run to start analyzing and solving the electromagnetic equations and give us the results. We started from 0 and end time of 20 milliseconds with the steps of half a millisecond. So we have 41 different steps that you can see the progress on this run progress window.